Hi, and welcome back to the USTA NorCal Competitive Edge Series. I'm Kathy Toon and your host for the Team Room. And today I want to talk about a really important piece of performance in league matches, and it all has to do with emotions. And I learned this phrase from my mentor, Dr. Jim Lair, and he always said, emotion runs the show. And I believe that's so true, whether we're an individual performer, a doubles team, or a USTA league. And I've heard this concept and I've taught it many different ways. As part of a trainer for the Positive Coaching Alliance, we talk about the importance that each one of us has an emotional tank, kind of like a gas tank in a car. And when your emotional tank is full, you can go a long way. In business, Stephen Covey talks about the emotional bank account. And basically, when that's full, when we are emotionally full, we perform better. We can go a long way. So in tennis and in league tennis, one of the things we want to really think about is how do we keep emotional tanks of our doubles partner full and of all of our teammates full? Because when our tanks are full, we are going to perform better. Now, one of the things that's interesting with this is that one way or the other, we are either always filling an emotional tank or draining someone's emotional tank. There really is no middle ground. Okay? So I want to talk first about draining. And in draining a tank, these are the things that commonly cause us to drain someone else's emotional tank, whether we're criticizing them, correcting them. And you want to think about this like on the doubles court. Are you coaching your partner? Are you criticizing them, correcting them, telling them what to do? No matter how we package it, it's pretty much usually taken as a drain on the emotional tank. Sarcasm, boy, that's a big one in today's world, and that is definitely a drainer. Ignoring, like think about your between point management time. If you really never look at your partner, ignoring them, that's a huge emotional tank drain. And then the nonverbal, lots of nonverbal ways that we can drain somebody's emotional tank. So we don't want to spend that much time on this part. What we really want to think about is how are we going to fill our partner's emotional tank? One of the best ways, and it's actually one of the most challenging too, is using praise, but praise that is truthful and specific. Not to this sort of, oh, nice job, way to go, but being very specific with your partner and giving them truthful and specific praise. So, for instance, maybe they went for the poach. They actually crossed. Now, maybe they didn't make it, but they went for it. So giving them that truthful and specific praise, like, yeah, that's the way to be aggressive up there at the net. Keep going for it. The next one's going to be yours. I love your energy and aggressiveness up the net. Keep that going. That kind of stuff will really help fill their tank. Expressing appreciation, think about it even for the small things, whether they're on time or they're helpful or they, go get the ball for you, whatever it is, expressing appreciation to another human being definitely fills emotional tanks. And listening, in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, listening, being heard, all of that is huge. So on the court or off the court, really paying attention. Are you spending more time using both of your ears, or are you the one doing most of the talking? But just knowing when we're heard and we're listened to, it is an emotional tank filler. Now notice this nonverbal is also on this list. It happens to be on both of them. So think about it for a moment. How much of our communication is nonverbal? Yeah, there's all different numbers, whether it's 65, 70, 80%. It's just a boatload. Most of our communication is nonverbal. Okay, so I learned this. I want you to imagine how this came across for me. I was a coach. I was actually coaching at University of San Diego. I was the assistant coach. And one of my assignments when I was getting my master's degree in sports psychology was I had to be videotaped the entire time coaching. So there was no action, breakaway shots, nothing, just moi the whole time coaching. And everything I said and did got recorded and on video. And then I got to sit down later with my peers and watch the video, which was really fun, and get feedback on it. Now, I was fairly decent at what was happening verbally and what was coming out of my mouth, but what surprised me the most was the nonverbal. And tennis is, a relatively quiet sport, but man, I was sitting on the side watching and twitching and moving and up and down in my chair and putting my, head in my hands and all this stuff, like, was unbelievable. Just couldn't, I mean, it was embarrassing, but it was very powerful, and it basically changed the way that I coach. And I want you to think about it. If I was to come out to your next match and record just you the entire time, and no microphone, just you, all nonverbal, what would I be seeing? Would I be seeing things that are actually filling your partner's emotional tank, whether it's eye contact, smiling, high fives? What would I see? So your job when you go out onto the courts this week, whether you're at practice or at a match, is to practice filling the emotional tanks of not only your doubles partner, but all of your teammates as well. And watch what happens. When folks' emotional tanks are full, they perform better. So you've got your assignment. I want to wish you the best of luck. And until our next session here in the team room, have fun on the courts. Take care.